Spoiler battle for 7.5-24 and 8-30. It has been 2 months since the last Rupture loadout video, so I think it's time to update it. Before that, let me talk about the changes to the team building moving forward. I believe that from now on, we'll most likely have 7s in a limit fight as a default. This is because a combination of the information given to us from the later half of 2025 stream and the fact that every single fight in Kanto 8 is 7s in a limit fight. Thus, this video will use 7s in a limit as a default, but I'll take into consideration 6 in a limit for newer player. The last unit in the loadout can be cut for the 6 in a limit fight. Okay, let's move on to the new IDs. We got 4 new Rupture IDs that we can fit in for the Rupture team. Those being Hazel Pack Branch Rodian and Gregor, Hazel Pack Mount Branch Adept Faust, and Family Hierarchy Candidate Ishmael. And with a few ego, but I'll gloss over them if the unit carrying that ego has a not very good ID. Before getting into the team building, let's talk about investing. Which unit you will not regret getting and will most likely be in future loadout. You will not regret getting Mouth Faust, Ryoshu, Otis, and Rodian. Technically you cannot short Ryoshu or Otis right now, but if the Sinner banner comes around, you can get them with Lunacy. These 4 are currently the stable in the Rupture team, and if you don't have a fully functional Rupture team yet, they can work as a strong generalist for other team because they can get their coin power through other requirement that is not Rupture. There's only one loadout, but I will give you a list of units that can replace some unit in the loadout. This can be because you don't have all the unit in the loadout, or you don't want to use certain unit for reason. The standard loadout. The units are Mouth Faust, Ryoshu, Otis, Rodian, W Corp Yisang, Lantern Dawn, and C Gregor. I'll talk about each unit, but I will not go in depth into the kit. Mouth Faust, very easy to use, just spam her counter and reap profit. Don't use her ego, don't use her skill 1 and skill 2 unless the enemy is staggered. You can use skill 3, but make sure to set up for next turn. Here's how you can set up your next turn if you want to use 2 enhanced skill 3 with single slotted Faust. The other Hazel must use the skill 2, and the allies that are slower than the enemy must not attack. This will guarantee you getting Faust enhanced skill 3 off through assist defense next turn. Besides Faust, the other mounts are also important, but because you can't get them right now through the dispenser, I recommend you borrowing either Ryoshu or Otis. Prioritize Ryoshu first. Ryoshu has a leg up on Otis because all her skill can go count positive with depth right haste. While Otis synergizes better with Faust assist defense, her skill 1 will not give any count to the stack. You can fix this by not using Otis skill 1. Just spam her counter and wait for her skill 2 and skill 3, or you can use Ebony Stem. Ebony Stem will massively help Otis on inflicting Rupture count. You want to use Ebony Stem when you have a skill 2 ready for next turn. This is for regaining her XP from using the ego. Skill 2 can go count neutral even in clash. Skill 1 and skill 3 cannot. With Ebony Stem, Otis is way better than Ryoshu in count infliction. You still would not want to use Otis skill 1 unless he has high sanity. W Corp Yisang is just good for Rupture, while most of the time he'll be count neutral. He makes up for it with potency. He can fix his count problem with his Dimension Shredder ego. With Mouth Faust grounding the enemy with binds and his passive providing him with haste, he can guarantee to have the ego passive trigger all the time. What sets this ego and Ebony Stem apart is you don't really need to roll heads for it to inflict the Rupture count. Yisang just need to land the attack on a slower enemy. With this in mind, you can just not let Yisang clash for the whole duration of the fight. You can start with Superbia out Dimension Shredder and follow up with his skill 2. You can run him without Dimension Shredder, though be careful because he is not a count positive ID. He can blow up the stack or help other unit blow up the stack. Rodian. She is a fantastic damage dealer and can burst the Rupture stack with her skill 3. Her downside is that she really need to clash or she'll blow up the stack. She does not inflict a lot of potency. Her count infliction is negative on her skill 1, neutral on her skill 2 and 3. She does not have any ego that can help her with either of these issues. Lantern Dawn provides a stable +1 count with her skill 1. Her skill 2 count infliction is a bit clunky to use. If one of the units before her loses a clash on their count inflicting skill, her skill 2 can potentially nuke the stack itself. This skill is a -3 on your stack before the count infliction. But this skill is great at inflicting rupture potency and fantastic if you use it to start the stack on turn 1. By using it on turn 1, you start the Rupture stack with 2 potency and 4 count. Don't get red sheet in this season. It can be used in place of her skill 1 or you require some AoE for some reason. You don't really need to trigger 6 Gluttony Resonance for this eagle. 4 is fine. With 4 Gluttony Resonance, the eagle will inflict 4 potency and 2 count. See Gregor. He can compete with Rodian, but her skill 3 will blow him out of the water. His skill 1 and skill 2 are count negative. His skill 3 does go positive, but at a cost of only trigger Rupture once, making it a pretty bad Rupture burst skill. Unlike Rodian, there are 2 ego that he can work with. One helps him with the Rupture stack bursting, and one helps him by providing a debuff that makes Gloom skill go count neutral or positive. For Rupture stack bursting, he has Solemn Lament. This eagle can burst the Rupture stack 8 times. While it drains his sanity, you mostly use this as a finisher. For Rupture count, he has AEDD. Spark Discharge to make Gloom skill go count neutral or positive. The best part about this debuff is that it does not get reduced or completely drop off at the end of turn. The downside is that any attack will reduce its stack. So while you can go positive on Gloom skill, you can also accidentally drop the debuff through other attack. Here are some Gloom skill that you'll most likely use. Yisang skill 3, Lantern Dawn skill 3, Sagma Soul skill 3, Jia Ismail skill 1, She Rodian skill 3, Mount Oden skill 3. Though you can only pick either Solemn Lament or AEDD, you can't have both. All of the units in the team have their preferred turn 1 skill. The Heisho must use their defense skill for their respective buff and Gluttony Sin. W Kopyisen can start with skill 1 or Dimension Shredder or even skill 2. Lantern Dawn can start with skill 1 or skill 2. This team is stable and reliable. You rarely drop the stack unless your skill back are horrendous, but if you get Faust and have skill 3 running, you should be able to stack comfortably. Now to the replacement unit list. Sangma Soul, 7 Heath, and Jia Ishmael. Sangma Soul, he's inflict a decent amount of rupture if you ignore his skill 3. He can sabotage your stack quite easily if you don't fulfill his 15 and 3 conditional. Unless Faust start turn 2 with her skill 3, Masoud will most likely blow up the stack if he decides to attack. While his non-rupture consumption conditional is great, not inflict any rupture at all is a problem. Despite this, his turn 1 is pretty good if he gets 7 speed. At 7 speed, his skill 2 will start the stack with 4 potency and 3 count. Yisang will probably eat 1 count, but Dawn can give it back if you decide to run Masoud instead of Gregor. Ending turn 1 with 4 potency and 3 count is great. There's only one situation where it can beat this start, which is Dawn's skill 2. Having 4 count is better than 3 count. Sadly, you cannot combo his skill 2 with Dawn's skill 2. The stack will be dropped if you do so. He brings to the team debuffs through change of orders, but it will cost him his own speed, so unless he roll max or near max speed, say goodbye to his coin power conditional. The bind is kinda useless, but against super fast boss, it can be helpful. The attack power down is useful and can somewhat offset the lack of coin power boost. His damage still suffer though. He also has regret, but this will require you to put in one other unit just to support his ego, and I don't think it's worth it. Besides that, he has no notable ego that will be used in Rupture. 7 Heath. He's very bad at starting a stack, but his strong side is that he can inflict a lot of potency and he can save a stack with his skill 2. You cannot go wrong when you clash with his skill 2. The only gripe I have with him is his potency infliction rely on sanity. His skill can potentially inflict a good amount of potency. Nearly 3/4 of his potency infliction rely on heads hit. This also affects his passive. His passive condition is already rough. Now it needs the skill to roll heads to activate too. A bit RNG, but it can be fixed by clashing. Just don't blow up the stack with your skill 1 or skill 3. They both count negative skill. He has Holiday for his ego, but this ego works similar to his passive. It gives his Rupture potency infliction a +1. The condition for it to activate is rough. He doesn't give any buff or status effect to himself. Other unit also doesn't give him buff or status effect. The few cases where it can happen are Gia Ishmael Retreat, the Devyat Retreat. You somehow cast Otis Holiday or Gregor Garden of Thorns. That's a lot of work for a +1 potency infliction. Gia Ishmael. Ishmael Kit is diabolical, but it's better than some other 3-star Rupture ID. She has a leg up compared to Muscle when it comes to Rupture infliction, in which she doesn't completely lose the ability to inflict Rupture after a certain stack size. She can't sustain her own poise, but this is not a big of a deal. Her damage, buffs gaining, and debuffs infliction suffer, but it only affects one instant of Rupture infliction. Her skill 3 without crit will not inflict 1 count. Her skill rolls high. Her coin power based on Rupture is very easy to fulfill, but her negative effect conditional is so hard to fulfill it's borderline impossible. Her passive will not apply to her skill 1 most of the time, but for her skill 2 and skill 3 it will apply. Due to her skill 2 being a gluttony skill, it's pretty easy to increase its offense level. Skill 3 just have high offense level in general. +5 offense level is pretty high. So her skill 1 will be count negative most of the time, and her skill 2 is count neutral if she clash. Her skill 3 provide a boost of Rupture potency and can act as an ego skill to counter an enemy high rolling skill. Don't interact with her retreat mechanic. It's bad. There are some funny shenanigans you can do with the Devyat, but it's not worth it. Egos. Notable ego for her is Death Maggot and Wingbeat. Death Maggot provide her with another AoE option. Its unique debuff is kinda bad. You'll most likely inflict 5 stacks of Venom, which will expire in 3 turns after it's casted. The sanity it consumes hurt a bit for Ishmael because she needs to clash, but at least it's easier to fill than Snack Harpoon. Wingbeat. This ego is a bit RNG heavy, but the high roll is so good it's worth it. This is obviously will be used as a finisher. It will trigger a lot of Rupture and inflict up to 6 Gluttony Fragility. This fragility will boost Faust's enhanced skill 3 damage when it gets triggered by assist defense. It consumes resources that the Rupture team can fill comfortably. The sanity drain will not matter if you use it as a finisher. To the honorable mention. These units I don't recommend you put in the team. I will of course provide my own reasoning, but if you want to try them out, I won't stop you. Lantern Yisang. Do you have him at level 1? No, he's brick. The higher level he is, the more punish you get. He helps a lot in the first few turns, but once 15 and 3 is reached, he's useless and into the blender he goes. You can put one backup unit so after he dies, someone can replace his skill slot. Devyat Sinclair? Dead. Have Rashid as backline support instead. His kit is very against him when it comes to Rupture infliction. His base amount of Rupture infliction is decent. Some potency here, some count there. He gets bonus potency and count infliction with Courier Trunk, but this will not matter most of the time. By the time he gets to 15 Trunk, the Rupture stack will most likely be above 15 potency and 3 count, which makes his bonus potency and count infliction redundant. Unlike Muscle, when the 15 and 3 kick in, he can still blow up the stack because his conditional does not prevent him from consuming the Rupture count. Ego. Branch. The 3 branch can inflict 12 potency, and I think it's the only reason why you would use Devyat Sinclair. Lantern provide a decent heal. At level 55, it will be 30 HP for 2 units. The resources cost for this heal is quite cheap. 1 lust and 2 pride. The team can get 4 gluttony just by existing. His Tears of Tarnished Blood can be used as a finisher. He won't even need to use it a second time in order to trigger the coin reuse. Just by existing on the field, he'll get to 30% HP eventually. The cost for it is quite steep, but as a finisher, it doesn't matter. Devyat Rodian. Similar to Sinclair, she's dead. Her Rupture Infliction is pretty bad, like Season 1 bad. Her saving grace is not consuming Rupture after a certain point, but that's not enough. That's it for the honorable mention. Now back to the loadout. This 7 Sinner loadout, even though I say it's the standard loadout, this only applies to fight that forces you to have all 12 Sinner be deployed, which is only applicable for railway content. For story content or even mirror dungeon, the optimal way to play any Rupture team is to give Faust one extra slot. This will make the team into a 6 Sinner team. The good outweigh the bad for this team, specifically because of assist defense. The bad first, missing one unit means less total HP. If the fight drag on long enough, or the enemy like to give out unbreakable coin like candies, having less HP overall might cause you to bleed out. Faust, having 2 slots and with her unique defense mechanic, is more likely to be staggered, even though she clashes really high. At the end of the day, whether you win or lose a clash is based on RNG. One bad hit can lead to Faust being staggered, which means 2 skill slots down. The good, giving the best unit in your status one more slot is, in my opinion, extremely worth it. If I can do this in Railway, I would. 2 slotted Faust have slot with the Rupture stack, both the potency and count. 1. Due to her kit being count neutral on all her skill, this is without Death Right Haste, which will make all her skill count positive. I forgot about her counter, which is a negative count skill, but I'll gloss over it. Number 2. Rashid Sinclair passive affecting 2 slots instead of 1. Faust can replace the 7th unit altogether with the help of Sinclair when it comes to Rupture Infliction. This team will not suffer from being outnumbered by the enemy at the start. The 6 in the team can cover 7 attack with Faust assist defense. Double slotted Faust can start her enhanced skill 3 engine on turn 2. And with 4 slots, 2 Faust, 1 Ryoshu and 1 Otis, that can inflict a ton of count, you will have a very easy time stacking Rupture. So my go-to team that I use most of the time is Mao Faust, Ryoshu, Otis, W Kop Yisang, C Rodian and Gregor. If you want to be more comfortable, you can replace Gregor with Lantern Dawn. I kinda forgot about the passive. Notable passive: 7 Heath, Rashid Sinclair, and W Kop Muscle for Rupture potency, Middle Muscle and LCB Honglu for sanity heal, 7 Yisang and LCCB Ishmael for clash power and God skill final power, K Kop Honglu and G Kop Gregor for HP heal, Jing Tang Honglu and Liu Gregor for damage. I can't really show you the 7 Sinner limit team because there's no fight for it, but I can show you the 6 Sinner limit team. So let's get the beating going.
숨통 끊기. 그림자 속으로 가라앉게. 목을 콱 물어버리자고. 훌륭하군요. 불가 위하 막아내지 못하네. 아직 죽지 마라. 어머, 놀랐어? 흑수묘, 뒷박질 중. 이제 깨우치시게. 이제 끝내지. 이제 깨우치시게. 흑수묘, 뒷박질 중. 틈을 끊어. 바로 이. 승리를 위해서라면. 훌륭하군요. 바로 이. 흑수묘, 뒷박질 중. 숨통 끊기. 틈을 끊어. 바로 이. 과연 오늘 부끄럽지 않았습니다. 의의를 바로 세우는 데 일조하였으니